I would say that it's not what I have done that God allowed me to do in the past. Nowadays that we don't use much of a compass because you can simply just use your phone app as a compass. Having a compass, not just a physical compass, but a metaphorical one. That is having a compass that guides your life journey is absolutely, to me, is essential. I want to share that today that the journey of life needs a compass, and that compass should be compassion. Let compassion be that compass. In our families, there always been missionaries or in the church work. But when I was growing up, especially in a church Sunday school, one thing that caught my little imagination, that fascinated me, were people that are called medical missionaries. And so I want to tell you that there are people who be my inspirations, or my aspiration is to be like that. When I was growing up, and there was one person that I heard and I read about it, was Dr. David Livingston, and he was a Scottish medical missionary, and he went to Africa before the colonial powers got all interested in Africa. But he was Christians, and he was a missionary. He wanted to go to Africa to help the people and to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with them. Yes, none of these people that we aspire to be are necessarily perfect people. They all make mistakes, and in some aspect of their life, they're probably not as good. But it's what they do, what they want to do, that really intrigue me, and it's always say, hey, I do want to be like that. And so there's another person that I inspire me a lot, and I even went to India to experience what exactly that turned this Albanian nun to become the world most famous. And Mother Teresa, I think many of you would know about her, and then we can talk about that. And she went to India. She went to Calcutta, and spent all her life taking care of the poorest of the poor. Albert Schweitzer, he's another one of my person who inspired me. He was a German medical missionary to Africa again, and he says, he said, think occasionally of the suffering of which you spare yourself the sight. We can easily just turn our head and pretend and says, no, I cannot do much about it. I want to just say that I've been privileged. I'm blessed. I got to experience a little bit of what I want to be, because I want to be a medical missionary. I spent almost a year of my life in Africa and in Taiwan in mission hospital. Although many people, they were disappointed in me because I did not stay but I got to, after the Rwanda in 1994, Rwanda experienced unprecedented genocide. Rwanda is of a very tiny country with two tribes. One is the Hutu majority tribe, and then one is the Tutsi minority. They used to live together. And but in 1994, because of civil war. Hutu kill Tutsi, their neighbors, 800 of them, 800,000 of them in 100 days. And they kill each other. If you can see on the left lower, that's what machete. They had no guns. They used what they had. The only thing they had was the sharp, and they hacked their neighbors to death. It's called genocide. Or I was there just soon after that. And what did I do? We helped rebuild. I still remember. I picked up one of this machete, and I picked it up, and I had it in my hand, and I sort of like we Chinese was a pick, and I just swing around, and all of a sudden everybody look at me, and then one of my translators says, "Dr. Lee, can you drop that down?" Something that I just thought that no, I said people saw that evoked and triggered horror and bad feeling. And I put it down immediately and I said, I am terribly sorry. I was so insensitive. I got to experience the killing in the massive scale, and soon after that, and the suffering. I also felt very bad because the people had no food, but I had a couple candies. So there were two school girls, and I said, I'll give you one candy if you give me, and I point out to their lunch. Lunch was only just banana that grind into paste, and I tricked the two little girls. They happily gave me their lunch, and they got the little red candy that I had, and I didn't eat their lunch because I didn't want to eat their lunch, but I thought that they were kind of stupid or cute to fall for that little candy. Another nurse that saw it and says, Dr. Lee, how could you do that? That's their calorie for the day. And I gave them little candy for it. So I wanted just to that I did not do anything that others could do, but I was there and I got to learn. This is another one that I had the opportunity to go to. I went because I was a doctor and I was available. 1991, one of the deadliest cyclones in history swept through Bangladesh. If you don't know what Bangladesh is, you should look it up. Bangladesh is probably the second most populous, with most, they are Muslims. And but within 2 days, 140,000 people were killed and 10 million people lost their homes. And that's where the kind of destruction is. So we went there with another group of a doctor very quickly. So maybe within 10 days we were there. The country was ravaged, and I have never seen people so poor. And I knew about they were poor, but I just utterly, their bodies, corpse everywhere, and nobody to clean up. And my drivers, one of the local doctors, and he just honked. He honked incessantly at people just to get their sick, and then the people that know to take to move the people away. I'll tell you the truth. First day, second day, third day, I was so overwhelmed. I could not eat, and it just disturbed me. I couldn't even sleep. Every time I see, I said, how could this be? I have so much, they have so little. and they're in such a misery. But by the 5th day, at the end of the week, the doctor says, well, thank you very much for coming and help us. We didn't do much. We couldn't. He took me to a quote unquote a restaurant by the river, and I remember I was eating that. That was the first time I got to eat French bread. And we were by the river, and there were corpses, bodies bloated, floating by the river. And I didn't see a thing. And I was enjoying my French bread. Get overwhelmed, and it is what they call compassion fatigue. Yes, it is true. You cannot just keep giving and giving and giving. But there's one thing that I learned that is this, that I do not want to be a bystander, and I want to be, like this picture says, that be the hands of Jesus, and I want to always be set my directions to be compassionate.